So, you want to find out what tent is best for you. You want the right balance of budget, function and quality. I'll cover realistic options on a budget, the 5 essentials you need to know when picking a tent, and some essential extras at the end. I'm Will Camping Adam, and let's dive in. Treading the line between budget and performance can be an overwhelming task at first. However, once you know what to look for, it makes it far easier to identify what you need and what you want. So, let's dive into the 5 most important things you should consider when you're buying your tent. Number 1, weight. Most budget lightweight backpacking tents weigh between 2.5 kilograms and 1.5 kilograms. However, most ultralight shelters weigh less than 1.1 kilograms. The lightest tent in the world is recorded at 450 grams or 1 pound, which weighs less than this water bottle. The position you don't want to put yourself in when you buy a tent is buying something that weighs 5 kilograms or 4 kilograms. Chances are it's not going to pack down to the size that you need or want, and it's going to be really difficult to lug that around on your trips. Pick something between that range of 2.5 and 1.5 kilos and you're spot on. Number 2, pack size. As for pack size, you want a tent that can pack down small, so you can still have room in your pack for the rest of your kit. Believe me, there's nothing worse than being knee deep in your backpack trying to compress your tent just because it's that bit too big. Most tents come packaged awkwardly. You don't need to keep your tent in the packaging the way it arrives. To solve that problem, you're going to want to take out your poles and your pegs. And you want only your tent in your compression sack. That means you're going to be able to stuff it to the smallest size that you physically can and give yourself plenty of room in your pack. I need to go and pick them up now. Number 3, interior space. Moving on to the interior space, you should heavily consider how you want to camp and what suits you best. Do you want to stay in your tent for long periods, or is your tent just your sleeping space for the night? If stealth's your priority, you definitely want a low profile tent that blends in and makes you harder to spot. Alternatively, if comfort's your priority, you'll most definitely want a tent that's big enough that you can sit up in and stay in for long periods. However, your interior space doesn't matter if your tent isn't properly rated for the weather that you're using it in. Your waterproof rating is crucial when picking your tent. Number 4, waterproof rating. The waterproof rating is how we categorise how much rain a tent can withstand. The waterproof rating, otherwise known as hydrostatic head, is incredibly important to consider. At 2000ml, your tent will be able to withstand moderate amounts of rain for a reasonable amount of time. However, you will start to experience leakage on the higher end of that spectrum. However, a tent at 5000ml will be able to withstand torrential downpours for a reasonable amount of time. And number 5, seasonality. Seasonality seems like an obvious factor at first. However, when you actually rack your brain about it, it's hard to pick out why a tent would be a 3-season and why a 4-season, because it's not just all about winter and summer. Seasonality allows us to identify the glaring and minute differences between 3 and 4-season tents. We'll cover these differences as we go through the different types of tents. The 3 different types of tents are freestanding, non-freestanding and trekking pole tents. They might sound complicated, but you most likely already know what they are. Non-freestanding tents are the ones that everyone's familiar with. You need both stakes and poles to pitch the tent. On the other hand, freestanding tents are tents that don't require any stakes. They only need poles. This essentially means that they can be assembled anywhere. So if you pitch your tent on a spot that you don't realise has a bad rock underneath or a slope, you can just pick up the tent and move it to the spot that you want. Trekking pole tents are a form of non-freestanding shelter. Instead of using tent poles, they use trekking poles. The main tents we're going to focus on in this video, because they're most affordable, is non-freestanding tents. There's a range of ways to categorise the different types of tents, but we'll categorise them as 3-season, 4-season and 4-season expedition. 3-season non-freestanding tents. These tents usually weigh between about 2.5 kilo and 1.8 kilo. Most of them pitch inner first, however there are some exceptions out there, pitching either inner and outer at the same time, or outer first. 3-season tents are designed to be breathable and allow for more airflow in the warmer months. However, they are also designed for the slightly bad weather in the off seasons. Let's talk about a fantastic 3 to even 4 season tent, the OEX BOBCAT 1. This one-man shelter has enough room for you, your gear, and even room to cook if you keep the tent well ventilated and the door all the way open. I've seen people push the BOBCAT into winter conditions and it's held up surprisingly well. It retails at around £99 and weighs 2 kilograms. The pack size is surprisingly small considering the shelter's size. It packs down to around the size of a bottle of wine. You also have quite a bit more headroom, and best of all, it pitches inner and outer at the same time, so you can keep your entire shelter out of the conditions if need be. While it's easier to spot because of its higher profile, standing at around 110 centimetres tall, the trade-off is well worth it because of its 5000mm hydrostatic head. Its ability to withstand torrential rain and gale force winds, if you pitch it right, is impressive. If stealth camping isn't your priority, then the BOBCAT 1 might be the right tent for you. If it is though, you might want to take a look at this next tent. The next tent is the first one I ever used, the Mountain Warehouse Backpacker 2. It retails for around £70 and weighs 2 kilos. It has a hydrostatic head of 2000mm, so it can withstand moderate amounts of rain. If you want to see me in this tent in action, out in Scotland's outdoors, I'm going to have my adventure playlist at the end of the video, so you can see me exploring Scotland's countryside along with this little guy. I would recommend this tent, however there's a 4-season alternative that's far better in performance and near enough the same price. Next up, 4-season tents. To class as a 4-season shelter, your tent has to have a lower skirt, usually touching the ground. This prevents draft from the cold winds and it keeps your tent just that little bit warmer. In addition to this, all 4-season tents usually pitch inner and outer simultaneously, or at the very least outer first. These shelters usually also have a high hydrostatic head, so they can cope with the much harsher conditions. A tent that hits all of those marks and allows you to lie as stealthy as this tent is the OEX Phoxx 2. If I had to start again, this would be the tent I would choose. It's much like the Mountain Warehouse Backpacker 2, but better. It's built to be a 4-season 2 kilogram shelter that can withstand torrential rain with its 5000mm hydrostatic head. If you pitch it right, it will be near bomb-proof in high winds. This is in your perfect beginner shelter, and you can have the peace of mind that you'll be kept dry even in some of the harsher conditions. However, the best thing about the tent is also its biggest downside, the headroom. It does make stealth camping a treat, however it means that you can't fully sit up in the tent if you're any taller than 5'8" at best. This is bad for 2 reasons, back pain and condensation. In colder weather, the condensation can build up on the outer, and when you sit up, your head pushes the inner into the outer, making your head and the inner just that little bit wet. In colder conditions, this can build up over time and actually make your stuff quite damp. It retails at around £90, so there's only a £20 difference between that and the Backpacker 2. To me, it's a no-brainer. Beginning or looking for your next piece of kit, it might just be the right tent for you. Next up, ultralight tents. More specifically though, trekking pole tents. It's incredibly hard to comprehend just how small and light these shelters get. For example, this one-man trekking pole tent packs down to near enough the same size as a 1 litre water bottle, and it actually weighs less. And that is including the pegs, guy lines and the compression sack. Now that's not including the fact that you could probably pack this down even smaller if you had a tighter, more restrictive compression sack. Now these tents are impressive and the benefits are clear, but it usually means they err on the pricier side. We're talking up to £600. I know, don't let that scare you off though, there's still a great budget option that won't only be good for your wallet, but good for you functionally. The perfect example would be the very tent I showed you earlier. The 4-season Lanshan 1 by 3FUL Gear. We've already spoke about the pack size and the weight, and I still can't wrap my head around it. The 4-season Lanshan 1 retails at around £120. It weighs just under 950 grams, including the pegs, guy lines and compression sack. It's got a hydrostatic head of 2000mm, so it can withstand moderate amounts of rain. If you don't seam seal the tent in certain parts when you get it though, it will have some problems with leakage and heavier rain. This problem isn't terrible, but it's important to keep in mind, especially if you're going to use it in some heavier rain. One of the most noticeable qualities about the Lanshan 1 is the gap between the outer and the ground on the front facing side. For a 4-season tent, this might seem unusual at first, however, the inner is a 4-season solution. The inner mesh on the 4-season version is quite a bit thicker than the 3-season version, and to keep it that little bit warmer, the vents are limited to the top of the inner. In those windier, colder conditions, you would want to pitch the back of the tent facing towards the direction that the wind is coming from. The front has that natural gap, but when we take a look at the back, we see that there's almost no gap between the outer and the ground. Another potential solution in harsher conditions is to lower the trekking pole about 10 to 15 centimetres. One of the other things you might have to consider if you're using the Lanshan is that the bathtub floor is very thin. This makes it a little bit more susceptible to damage, so you have to be extra careful when you check your campground for sharp sticks or rocks. That's the trade-off for such a light shelter though. It can be a little bit more susceptible to damage, and you have to be a little bit more mindful where you pitch and also how you store your kit. You can get some pretty good and pretty cheap trekking poles from Go Outdoors if you pay their membership card. This costs about £5 a year and it gets you some good deals. Make sure you price compare though. They can draw you in with a nice discount and make you pay full price for some other items. Alternatively though, looking for some good second-hand options never hurts. You might get a good deal out there. I personally reached out to 3FUL Gear and asked if they would like to send me this tent for free so I can use it in the videos, on the condition that they had no input on my content, my say or opinion towards their kit, or the ways in which I used it, and they agreed. They're seeing my thoughts and opinions on this tent for the first time when I upload this video. Before we delve into some of the essential extras, let's talk about the 4-season expedition. Not that we're actually considering these tents in this video, but just to put into perspective, I've seen the price of these tents hit about £900. You could probably buy a car for that on Facebook Marketplace, but they are built to last, so. Tents usually come with crappy aluminium pegs that look something like this. If you can, you should replace these. They don't hold up very well in high winds, and quite honestly they tend to bend easier than a strawberry lace. I mean, look. Right, I'm not that strong. I can't bend it back now, that's a wasted peg. Instead, you should get yourself pegs that look a little bit like this. These pegs are incredibly sturdy, but you don't have to spend £20 on 6 branded pegs. You can find them cheap and you can find them at a reasonable price. I've loved these pegs so much that I've got a link down in the description for a pack of 14 of them. These have lasted me my entire camping journey. If this video was helpful in any way at all, you might also want to watch my beginner's kit guide video that's in the pop-up above, down in the description. I've got a full beginner wild camping playlist in the description down below and also in this other pop-up. I've got a couple of videos that might just help you get started and get your foot in the door with wild camping. Consider subscribing for more wild camping kit guides and even adventure videos like this one where I explore the mountains of Arran without a tent, and this one where I explore a hidden waterfall and take a beginner on his first wild camp. If you enjoyed the video, consider dropping a like down below. It helps the channel out a ton. If you've got any questions or any advice for other beginners, let everyone know in the comments below. I'm Wild Camping Adam, and I'll see you in 2 weeks.